The Surfer is a Nicolas Cage movie. It is set in Australia. Okay, I can't do an Australian accent. And I will just say before we get into the basics of the story, this is Nicolas Cage unhinged. And every movie is Nicolas Cage unhinged. How will he be unhinged in this movie? And I'll say this, Nicolas Cage movies are a genre unto themselves. They defy genre. When you see Nicolas Cage in a movie, it's a Nicolas Cage movie. And guess what? They're often very fun.
69.
I would say there's they're varying levels of enjoyment, but if you know Nick Cage is the lead, you're in for a ride. And this one is a ride. Alan, give me the quick synopsis of the story and setup for The Surfer.
I knew you were going to ask me this. The only one I didn't prepare. But Nicolas Cage is a businessman. He goes to Australia where he was born. He wants to buy his childhood home. Why? Because he's in a failed marriage and is having a rocky relationship with his son. And I think he's doing all this just to prove that he's not the failure everybody thinks he is. So one day, just before the deal is about to be closed, he takes his son to the beach to go surfing. But the beach has suddenly become a private beach. It's been taken over by a gang of surfers who just basically say, no strangers allowed. And they basically kick him off the beach. And Nicolas Cage, being Nicolas Cage, says, no way. I want to take my son surfing. I'm going to take my son surfing. What are you going to do about it? And that's what happens. Everything unravels as he gets bullied and beaten over the course of, I think, 2 days. He gets his surfboard taken away. He gets, every time he needs something, he has to give away something he has, like his cell phone or money or his shoes. And it's just a man who just gets beaten down and beaten down. And like you say, I don't think you could make this movie without Nicolas Cage. To me, we've seen this story before, but it's Nick Cage. And so I'm not sure I like it better than most Nick Cage movies, but I do appreciate, I do like it. I'm on that kind of bear recommendation end of things. And the last thing I'll say about it is I love the cinematography. It's set in modern time, but it's got that 70s look. The shot on film, it's the soft edges. The music is very much from the 70s. And I think that was a wise choice because a lot of the action that occurs in it is action you would see in a 70s movie. So I'm on that bear recommendation for this one.
I give it a bear recommendation too, because it is like a humiliation ritual is what he's going through to gain the favor of these men, these like over the top, almost like Andrew Tate, like men, they're men who rule this beach with an iron fist. And Nicolas Cage just completely, his life unravels. He's like this businessman in a suit negotiating a house, and by the end he appears to be nearly homeless. And it's what he suffers to gain some dignity just to be able to surf the beach, to potentially surf the beach is a wonder to watch. And it's like you're wondering, why doesn't he just drive away and go home? And he stays there and stays there. And I will say this. I also loved, like you, the cinematography and the music. It felt like, even though he has a cell phone, it's present day, it felt like an exploitation film from the 70s. It had that kind of feel of like, how much more torture can this character endure? I do have a friend actually who has made a few films with Nick Cage, who says the reason you see so many Nick Cage movies, he just likes to work. It's like his normal life where he's not working, he doesn't know how to function. He likes to be on a film set. He likes to work constantly. And I will say, what I do love about Nick Cage movies, we discussed earlier, it's practically a genre unto itself, is that they're very different, nuanced performances. But like, this is, I think, the the nuanced in the unhingedness, but this is probably the darkest since I would say Mandy.
Mm.
It even had shades of Wicker Man in a way, not in a goofy way, with no the bees, but it sort of felt like that, like how much torture can this character endure? So
Yeah.
if you
I
liked
will say there is a
Mandy,
oh,
by
sorry,
the
go
way,
ahead.
Mandy is a better movie. Mandy is a much better movie than this, but this is a similar performance of just off the deep end Nick Cage.
Yeah, I will say there's a twist about it at the 60% point,
Yeah, don't give it
just
away.
past midway that I really appreciated. And
Yes.
it's like, okay, wow, that's a twist. That's a different direction. And I think that's when I really locked into this movie versus, the humiliation that takes place in the first half of the movie. It's like, okay, I've seen this. I'm seeing Nick Cage do it. It's fine. And then it feels like a very smart twist at the halfway point.
Yeah, and in the movie, having seen the trailer, I thought the movie was going to go in a completely different direction. It doesn't.
Mhm.
There's a very obvious sort of turn this movie could have taken
Yeah.
that I think would have made it like, oh, I've seen this before, and it doesn't do that. It's not a you're going to get revenge on the bad guys. It's more of an inner journey with Nick Cage. And I will say, while I was cringing and like hard to watch some of the what
Mhm.
his character goes through, I was riveted until the end. So a bear recommend, but be prepared for what you're in for with this movie.
Yeah. And I'll say I don't think it stuck the landing.
Well,
Yeah.
uh, I would beg to differ, and we won't talk about
Okay.
the ending.
Yeah, we won't talk about it, but it just felt a little rushed. That's all.